Hi, this is Theo from PuckerBlocks.com. For this week's art product review, I want to show you this set of Mission Gold watercolors that I bought many months ago. I've already used them halfway, so today I'm going to review them. Mission Gold watercolors is made in Korea. It's sold in a few different sets. The one that I bought comes with 9 tubes. Each of these tubes is 7 ml. They are also sold in sets of 12, 24, 36, 34. Some of the sets even come with pallets. So this is the one that I bought to try out. It's not a huge investment, but it's a bit more expensive compared to other brands that I've used. But it's a very good brand and the colors are great. Let me just show you some of the color swatches that I'm going to paint. I've already squeezed out all the colors into these pens, and when they are dry, they don't lose their intensity, so I like to use them this way as well. I'm just going to paint the left side of the palette of this page to let you see how vibrant the colors are. Let me start with the yellow first. This yellow is called permanent yellow, and it's made out of pigment PY154. Most of the colors in this particular set are transparent, so they are relatively easy to mix with. Next up, the color would be yellow orange. Yellow orange is a bright orange. Also transparent. We have 3 reds in this particular set. The permanent red, which is sort of like a true red color. Very strong, very bright. Then we have a cool red in the form of permanent rose, PV19. I've written down all the pigment code below the swatches. Then the last red we have is rose madder, PR176. This is even stronger than the permanent red. We have burnt sienna. Burnt sienna for Mission Gold is a bit strange because they use a 3 pigment formula, and this is a formula that I do not like because, well, first of all, it's 3 pigment, and second of all, it's very orange, and when you add it with French ultramarine, it actually turns green instead of the usual gray. And that is what I don't like about this burnt sienna. There are other brands they use just a single pigment. Next up we have blue. There's only one blue in this particular palette, and that's called the peacock blue, which is actually phthalo blue. One thing to note about Mission Gold is they like to give names to their pigments, give different names to their pigments compared to other manufacturers. For example, phthalo blue, they name it as peacock blue. And in the case of Viridian, which this one is using, is actually PG7. PG7 is actually phthalo green, and this color is actually phthalo green. Viridian is not so strong. And lastly, we have Van Dyke Brown. Van Dyke Brown, here it uses PBR7. It's almost like a burnt umber to me. To save some time, I have already went in to mix the orange colors. You can see that the orange is still a bit not dry yet. So for this side I mix the reds with the yellow, and for this side I mix yellow orange with the reds. You can get a very nice variety of orange when you mix the orange and yellow together with the 3 red colors. And if you want to dial down the colors, you can always add a bit of burnt sienna. This paper surface is quite smooth. Let me show you a different paper surface and the mixture that came out from that. Again, same thing, I mix yellow with the reds and yellow orange with the reds. You can see that at the top row the colors are a bit granulating, and this is the yellow orange straight from the pigment. It's very bright, so you want the really bright orange, use the one straight from the pigment and can mix it from there. For skin tones, I like to use yellow together with permanent rose or perm red. I can add some burnt sienna to dial down the colors as well. Other colors included in this mixture would be Viridian and Rose Madder, or Viridian and Permanent Rose. I like to mix these two together to get a very dark color. So if you mix a cool green like Viridian or Phthalo green with a cool red, you get a very dark color. As I mentioned earlier, this Viridian from Mission Gold is actually phthalo green. If you mix Viridian with a burnt sienna, you get a more natural color, not as striking, not as glaring to your eyes. And Peacock Blue is actually phthalo blue, so I'll just call it a cool blue. If you use a cool blue and mix it with a yellow orange, you get a duller green. Again, I use this for foliage. Again, with the cool blue and a warm red, you can mix together to form a very dark color. I use this for very dark shadows. So these are some of the mixtures. Let me show you some of my sketches. So for the greens and the yellows, the trees foliage, I used yellow and phthalo blue, the cool blue. I think this side I might have added some red to get the brown. So if you mix 3 colors together, you get a brown very easily. And because the colors are all transparent, it's quite easy to mix without turning muddy. These are some of the skin tones that I told you earlier. So I cannot remember the exact color, but I think I used a bit of burnt sienna. So the colors are really very intense when you the pigmentation is really very intense. That's one thing I like about Mission Gold. Nine colors from the set is a very good, it's enough to get all the colors that I need. But I went in to add in the French ultramarine from Winsor & Newton. This is the sketch that I sketched yesterday or 2 days ago. So in this case, I used Mission Gold together with the French ultramarine from Winsor & Newton. I added French ultramarine because you can get a very nice gray color with Van Dyke brown. This brown, if you add ultramarine to this brown, you get a very nice gray color, and if you add more ultramarine, you get this. For the shadows, I used ultramarine plus permanent red to get a purple, and then I add in Van Dyke brown to make it much darker. The greens are from yellow and I think peacock blue, which is phthalo blue. The red is permanent red and a bit of burnt sienna to just dial down the colors. I've been using Mission Gold watercolors for a few months now to fill this sketchbook, and I find that they are really very high quality paints. The tinting strength of the watercolors are very high. Intensity and saturation are fantastic. And because most of the watercolors are actually transparent, they mix very well together, and it's very unlikely to mix matte unless you really mix a lot of colors together. Very bright, very colorful palette. If you're going to buy the 9-tube set, I recommend you get an extra tube of French ultramarine because that will make your set more versatile. The colors in this particular set, I think they lean towards the cool side. But if you add French ultramarine, you can get something like this, very moody, granulating blue. That is very good for the palette. That's all for my review today. I'll post all the scans of my sketchbook in the video description below so you can check them out. And there's also a text review that I've written for this watercolor a few weeks ago, I think. You can check that out as well. And thanks for watching. Remember to subscribe to my YouTube channel because I'll be posting more art product reviews, sketching tips, and sketchbook features. Thanks and have a nice day.